Welcome back to Half Moon's Picks. Week 18 is here, 17's in the books, and man, I'm glad I don't have to analyze 16 games anymore. For those who don't know, on Monday night, Damar, Hamlin got injured, and they postponed the Monday night game. He had a what's called a carditis. Did I sound retarded? Yeah, probably. I'm no doctor. But it's a rhythmic change in the heart when someone gets hit right in the center there. It usually happens to younger adults. It's very rare and has a very rare survival rate on top of that, which needed to happen when it happened. CPR needed to be administered and a defibrillator on site, and they had that. NFL has top-notch medical staff right there on the field. Current status as of today, and this Tuesday I'm filming this, he is stable and sedated. So I hope he pulls through. I'll leave a link below if you want to learn more about what happened to him. And he also has a foundation that had like over 3 million dollars in donations. So if you want to check that out, it's GoFundMe. Last week I went 1-2 because I was hoping for the Cincinnati Bengals to pull through. I had them as one of my best bets, so I just went 1-2 as the other game got postponed, and 2-1 on my under and overs on Twitter, leaving me at average 3-3. Someone commented and said, "How bad did you do on my pool picks?" I mean, yeah, I did pretty bad. There's a lot of last week on my pool picks. You know, the last 2 weeks of the season, you just don't bet on. You know, you pick your selected few, and that's the ones you go with. So last week I went 1-2 my picks, and 2-1 my under and overs, and I went 3-3. And then I still had my 3-team teaser in effect, so I had Carolina at the time, and they covered with the teaser. And then I had Pittsburgh, which they covered. And so on Sunday night, I'm like, man, I'm just 3-3. Make some money. I said I'm going to put some money on Pittsburgh, plus maybe sprinkle some on the money line. Cap that out because I liked them. If you look on my leans, if you can go fast recap and check out all my picks, you know, I like Pittsburgh. I had them in my 3-team teaser, so I put a little bit of money on it, not a whole bunch, so that knocked me ahead. And then all I had left on my 3-team teaser was a Cincinnati, and the game got postponed, so I got my money back on my bet, just like, you know, getting a push. But my 3-team teaser cashed as a 2-team teaser. So I did win last week. So I don't know, you know, I understand my pool picks are pretty bad. I mean, yeah, you don't know if they're going to, like the Jets. I mean, you know, scored 3 points. That was like in the third quarter. I mean, they almost got blanked, you know. Washington, you know, what the heck. You know, Kansas City only scored when Denver scored. They could have pulled ahead at 14. He threw an interception in the end zone, man. It is what it is. The games are close, you know, you just don't know. Denver, I mean, what can you say? It is what it is. And this week, it's going to be all games on Sunday, on top of all divisional games as well. So you're like, oh, this is ugliness. So my picks this week are going to be pretty much ugliness, you know, so that is what it is. So, you know, if you don't like ugliness, don't bet anything. Especially, you know, don't bet my picks, because they're going to be ugly this week. I'm just looking at all of it. And I had to go back and check on some of the stats because, you know, since Monday didn't happen, I was waiting to hear more news. When's this postponement? What's going to happen? You know, as far as the next game, the 18th week, I think I'll play the 18th week, then go back and do the 17th week. I don't know. They haven't gave me any news yet. I'm sure if you're watching this before the weekend, you know, you might know more than I do. But like I said, it's Tuesday, no news yet. So just going off the cuff on a couple of these games, like the Cincinnati and Buffalo game. So that being said, let's get on with the picks. My fourth pick of the week, my upset pick of the week. They're all going to be upset. We got the New York Giants traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles. The New York Giants are a 14-point road dog. Philadelphia, to clinch the first seed, they need to win versus the Giants, or a San Francisco and Dallas loss. The New York Giants are, you know, back in the dance, first time since 2016, and they're going to probably sit their starters as they beat last week 38-10 versus the Indianapolis Colts. That was one of my best bets too last week. The New York Giants will probably start Tyrod Taylor. You know, not a bad quarterback. You know, I know he's not the greatest, but he's a great backup quarterback. The Philadelphia Eagles, Gardner Minshew, like I said, they're on a backup quarterback as Jalen Hurts' shoulder injury still, so they're going to have a second-string quarterback versus a second-string quarterback. Gardner Minshew's 44 of 76, 57.9% passer rating, 3 TDs and 3 interceptions, 4 fumbles, 1 loss, and sacked 6 times since he's been playing with the Eagles this year. So for me, 14 points is just way too much, so give me the New York Giants plus 14. My third pick of the week, we got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders are a 7.5 point home dog. Raiders, they're out of it. They're their 9th round draft pick and eliminated from playoffs. Kansas City, number 1 seed with a win and a Bills loss from either Cincinnati or New England, one of the two. Kansas City 5-10-1 ATS and 3-5 ATS on the road. Jarrett Stidham played last week as Cards, see ya Raiders, and he did 23 of 34, 365 yards passing last week. 3 TDs and 2 interceptions, but those were like deflected balls up, but I get it. Versus San Francisco, Kansas City won at home earlier this year in Week 5, 30-29. So for me, I'm taking the home team. Last dance at the show. Give me Stidham. Give me 7.5 points as a home dog. Las Vegas Raiders to cover at home plus 7.5. My number 2 pick of the week, we got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Seattle Seahawks. Rams are a 6.5 point road dog. The Rams, they got their number 1 pick goes to Detroit, so it don't matter whether they win or lose. They have the 7th round pick overall. Like I said, it goes to Detroit. Seattle needs a win and a Green Bay loss, so they're in desperation mode. The Rams are on back-to-back road games, and the Seattle is on back-to-back home games. The Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is out with the spinal cord contusion, so he did announce he's not retiring, by the way. Baker Mayfield starts. Last week he went 57.9% completion ratio, 0 TDs, 0 interceptions, nothing spectacular. This is possibly Baker Mayfield's last starting game. If he has a real excellent game, he goes out with a bang, might get some offers, and knock Seattle out of the playoffs, everything go his way. But, if he doesn't, then, he might find his job as a, bench warmer, second string somewhere. I'm sure he'll find a job somewhere. Seattle did win in week 14, 27-23, so it's only a 4-point difference. But John Wolford was the quarterback for the Rams in that game, and like I said, they only won by 4. So give me the LA Rams plus 6.5. And my number 1 pick of the week, we got the Cleveland Browns traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cleveland Browns are a 3-point road dog. Pittsburgh needs a win, plus Miami and New England lost to get in it, so they'll be fighting. This is a divisional game, it's always close. Cleveland won in week 3, 29-17. Last week, Amari Cooper got 3 receptions for 105 yards and 2 TDs. Deshaun Watson, he was 9 out of 18 with 169 yards passing. Kevin Stefanski said the last 2 games, that's the Browns head coach, said the last 2 games we're going to try to win it. And they did win last week. They did play spoiler and knocked out the Commanders last week. And here they are again. They're going through Pittsburgh, and they're going to try to knock them out as well. So give me the Cleveland Browns plus 3. All right, that's it for the best bets. So I'm going to bet these are pool picks. Like I said, I'm trying to stay in. I am currently 7th in our pool right now. So in the first game, we got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to San Francisco 49ers. The Arizona Cardinals are a 14-point road dog. Arizona is number 4 in the draft pick, as San Francisco has clinched the division. San Francisco needs the number 1 seat with a win and a Philadelphia loss. Arizona's quarterback David Blau He used to play for Detroit. He's like an 06 as a starter, but usually covers the spread. He covered it last week. J.J. Watt, this is also his last game as well at home, so he wants to do well. San Francisco did win in Arizona 38-10 in Week 11, but lost last year at home 31-17. So it might split the difference. 14 points is just a lot of points. So I'm taking Blau, who usually covers, never wins, and J.J. Watt as his last game. So give me the Arizona Cardinals plus 14. Next, we got the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are a 7-point home favorite. This one here, not too much of the stats because they didn't play on Monday night, and a lot of web pages just held off on the stats for this game. It's not even on my book yet, but the 7 points was the last opening line for this game. Baltimore won at home Week 5, 19-17 with Lamar Jackson. Lamar is unknown. They asked Harbaugh, is he going to play? I don't know. That's what his answer was. Tyler Huntley plays. I'm taking Cincinnati. Baltimore, I'll probably take the if Lamar plays, I'll probably take the 7 points. Both teams have clinched the playoffs. Cincinnati does need a win to clinch that first seed, but they'll need some help as well. So on this game so far, if Huntley plays, which they'll probably sit him since Baltimore's already got that clinched the playoffs. So give me the Cincinnati Bengals -7. Next, we got the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Chicago Bears. The Minnesota Vikings are a 5.5-point favorite. Chicago is number 2 in the draft pick. They're on a 9-game losing streak. Just doing horrible. Minnesota off a loss against Green Bay and are back-to-back road games. Minnesota's already clinched the division. When these two teams played earlier this year, Minnesota did win at home 29-22, so that's 7 points. Week 5. And also won last year in Chicago, 17-9. So that 5.5 points will cover both, but I don't know if they're going to sit their starters or play both their starters. Hard to say. Chicago, like I said, they'll take that number 2 draft pick and probably not play. They only scored 10 points against Detroit, and that was only in the first half right off the bat. Then nothing. Unbelievable. Anyway, so give me the Minnesota Vikings -5.5. Next, we got the Dallas Cowboys traveling to the Washington Commanders. Dallas Cowboys are a 5.5-point road favorite. Dallas clinched the number 1 seed and with a win and a San Francisco or Philadelphia loss, so they need some help there. Dallas has clinched division with a win and a Philadelphia loss, so they're still even trying to get their divisional win. So this game means a lot to them. The Commanders have been eliminated last week with Cleveland, 24-10. Carson Wentz, 0 TDs and 3 interceptions last week. Rushed 1 quarterback sneak as a touchdown on the 1-yard line. But Dallas, I have this all over. They need this. I know they're on back-to-back road games, so give me the Dallas Cowboys -5.5. Next, we got the Detroit Lions traveling to Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers are 4.5-point home favorites. Me and my brother went back and forth on this game because we're big Lions fans, and he's betting this game as well. Green Bay is win and end. They're in the playoffs no matter what happens. Detroit needs a win and hopefully a Seattle loss. Last week, Detroit routed Chicago 41-10, and Green Bay routed Minnesota 41-17. Week 9, Detroit won at home 15-9, low-scoring game. I'll get to that in a minute. But lost the last 3 games in Green Bay. Last year it was 35-17, so that was a rout. Detroit's 8-1 ATS in the last 9 games, and Green Bay is 4-1 in the last 5 games. Green Bay is 17-3 in the last 20 games versus Detroit, straight up. And Detroit's 5-0 in the division, ATS-wise, in divisional games this year. Earlier this season, I told you how I had Detroit get 3rd place in the division. If they lose this game, they will get 3rd place, and I will cash that ticket. Vegas had originally Green Bay at 3 points. Now it's bumped up to 4.5. As a lot of people on Green Bay, and I totally get it. And my brother totally gets it. The reason why they won in Detroit earlier this season was because they kept to the run. Green Bay's horrible at the run. Just keep to the run, keep the ball out of Rodgers' hands, And the game played exactly like that, and they did exceptionally well. Can they do it in Green Bay? You know, they didn't play so well in Carolina on the grass. They didn't play so well in New England on the grass. And here they're going in Green Bay on the grass. So good in Detroit, you know, indoors, but not so well outdoors. You know, Carolina and New England. And here we are in Green Bay. So to me, if I had to make a bet, which I might put a few dollars on, so give me the Green Bay Packers -4.5. Next, we got the New England Patriots traveling to the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are a 7.5-point home favorite. New England needs a win or a Miami and Pittsburgh loss in order to make it. New England has made the playoffs 18 times under Bill Belichick, 17 times in the last 20 years, and 11 consecutive times in a row. That's an NFL record. Of course, that was Tom Brady. Super Bowl is up to Yahoo. Bills have won earlier this year in Week 13, 24-10 in New England, and won in Buffalo last year, 41-17. Buffalo is 5-1 in the last 6 matchups straight up. So looks like Bills always got the New England Patriots numbers in the last couple of years. So give me the Buffalo Bills -7.5. Next, we got the New York Jets traveling to Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, this is a pick'em game actually. It started off a 1-point Miami favorite. Now it's moved to a pick'em. Miami needs a win and a New England Patriots loss, and they're playing Buffalo, so they might get it. Miami just needs a win, and you're in. That's all there is to it. Jets not doing so well. Only scored 3 points last week on a 5-game losing. Well, both these teams are on a 5-game losing streak. Jets are on back-to-back road games. Tua, you know, he has that concussion. It might have issues. Teddy Bridgewater, you know, had a finger a mash up, and he got out of the game. So Skylar Thompson, he's going to be playing against Mike White. Win and you're in, baby. So give me the Miami Dolphins at home to win the game. Next, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Atlanta Falcons. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a 4-point road dog. Atlanta Falcons, number 6 in the draft pick. The Tampa Bay has already clinched the division. They'll probably be sitting starters. Des Ryder won his first start in the NFL last week versus Arizona, 20-19. It was an ugly game, but he got 169 yards in the air and 0 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. He will probably be playing against Blaine Gabbert, he was in the news. There was a helicopter went down there in Tampa, and he had his jet ski raced out there to the downed helicopter and got the survivors out. Big hero, good for him. Maybe the last week of the season, maybe win some games. So yeah, just on that note, I know Tampa is by a far better team than Atlanta, but it is a divisional game, and Tampa's on a 2-game win streak. So give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And to go into the playoffs, the winner with Blaine Gabbert, the hero, local hero, +4. Next, we got the Carolina Panthers traveling to New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints are a 3.5-point home favorite. Both teams out. Carolina on back-to-back road games. New Orleans on a 3-game winning streak. They've been, fighting it out all the way to the end. Carolina 8th in the draft pick. New Orleans 10th in the draft pick, but that goes to Philadelphia, so it don't matter if they win or lose. So give me the New Orleans Saints -3.5. Next, we got the LA Chargers traveling to Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos are a 3-point home dog. Denver traded their first-round pick, goes to Seattle, as they got Russell Wilson, which is the 3rd overall pick, so they're not doing so well. The LA Chargers have clinched the playoffs, so they'll probably be resting starters. Chase Daniel will most likely start. Denver scored second highest points that they did all year, 24 points against the Chiefs, and covered that spread last week. They probably want to go out on the season as a a high note, as they don't have nothing to. Even if they lose, they get better. A draft pick, it goes to Seattle, so it don't matter. So to me, like I said, Chargers on the rest. Denver, wants to go out on a winning note, so give me the Denver Broncos at 3 points. Next, we got the Tennessee Titans traveling to Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars are a 6.5-point home favorite. Jaguars on a 4-game winning streak. Tennessee's on a 6-game losing streak. They're on a long week, so they play Thursday night, so they get more of a rest. Jacksonville will clinch with a win or a tie versus the Titans, and the Titans will clinch with a win. So Tennessee quarterback Josh Dobbs should get the start as their Tannehill's out. Josh Dobbs' first start was last Thursday night versus Dallas. He completed 20 out of 39, so just under 50%. 232 yards, 1 TD, and 1 interception. Last year, Tennessee won this match 37-19, but in Week 14, Jacksonville won in Tennessee 36-22. So, to me, this should be a no-brainer. So, give me the Jacksonville Jaguars -6.5. And last but not least, my bags are packed. You don't put out a video this week, I don't think. The Houston Texans traveling to Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts are a 2.5-point home favorites. Both teams out. The Colts are on a 6-game losing streak. Houston has the #1 draft pick. Probably they don't want to, win to lose that. Indianapolis Colts has the #5 draft pick. Houston laid down in last week, only scoring 3 points. Nick Foles injured last week. Sam Ehlinger will probably start with the Colts. Not looking good. So I guess the Colts -2.5. Well, that's it for me. I forgot to write down my 3-team teaser. I'm won, 3 weeks in a row now with that 3-team teaser. Doing pretty good there. I got it right up here. I'll post it right here as I have to go back at my computer, and I'm not going to do it now, so I'll do it in film editing. Like I said, you can always skip through, check out all my picks. You don't have to listen to me ramble. And that's it for the week. Next week will be pretty much easier, a lot easier, less games for me. I don't have to spend a day and a half going over statistics and stats. And just try to win you some money. So I will see you next week in the playoffs. Wild card weekend next week. Peace.